What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and enjoy some funny Canadian memes. It is time, once again, to see what the internet can teach me about Canadian culture using nothing but silly pictures with text on them. So let's take a look, starting with Canadian Tired. Oh my gosh. This is literally every Canadian for the next few months, starting about now, huh? I don't know if the snow has started at this point in the year for some Canadians, but this is life. Oh man, it's kind of depressing. I actually am proud of myself for understanding this reference, Canadian Tire. I learned about Canadian Tire in another video, so I'm actually proud I understand this reference, and yeah. This is just truth. This is just, Canadian behavior, typical Canadian behavior. Go out, shovel snow till you collapse onto the ground and pass out, and then you just stay right there the whole day and night, and you wake up in the same spot with a new, fresh pack of snow around you, and you do it all over again. That's just an allegory for life, isn't it? Okay. Didn't expect it to get this philosophical, did you? And next we have paid my power bill. Now I have a warm place to starve to death. I love the photo as well. Really contemplating life there. Yeah, finally paid off the power bill, which I assume in Canadian winter can be quite expensive, like heating and electricity and whatnot. And also I've heard in Canada, like phone bills are very, very expensive compared to other places in the world. Groceries, I've heard, are very, very costs a lot in Canada compared to other places. It's just like, this meme is like painfully true, huh? Paid my power bill. At least you now have a warm space to die of starvation. I mean, stuff in the United States isn't like all that dissimilar. For a lot of people, this is the reality in a lot of places, honestly, not just Canada, sadly. What else do we have? Don't forget to put dirty coins that a million strangers probably touched into your food today. What? Do what? Don't forget to put dirty coins into your food. And it is a picture of coins in cookies. I don't get it. I'm racking my brain here. Canadians, maybe you can clear this one up for me? Am I missing something obvious here? No, it's dirty coins baked into cookies. Is this something is this something Canadians partake in that I didn't know about? Do I need to try this? Maybe I shouldn't knock the disgusting coin cookies until I try them, I guess, but I don't get it. Don't forget to put dirty coins into your food. Okay, I won't. That's interesting advice, but who am I to question it? Next we have, I'm not saying it's cold outside, but I'm just saying my doormat broke. What? What? I is this possible? Is this only possible in Canada? I've never heard of such a thing. Is that seriously how this doormat broke in half? It got so cold it just snapped in the doormat. If the doormat can break in half, I'd be scared like your arm can break off. I might even venture to say that I think human limbs and arms are more fragile than a doormat. I think it'd be tough to break a doormat. Is this an irrational fear? Is it so cold in Canada? Doormats break? Your fingers might snap off? This kind of scares me. But at the same time, that doormat broken like this, it kind of looks like a cookie or something. Kind of looks tasty. Is that weird to think as well? Okay. Next we have, nothing makes me laugh as consistently as remembering the story of Hitchbot, the hitchhiking robot that made it all the way across Canada and then tried to do the same in the USA. Really? But was immediately beaten to death in Philadelphia. No. No, is this a real story? I've never heard of this. Is this real? This is, it's hilarious, but sad. So it's a robot that hitchhikes. Maybe it's just up to Canadians to pick it up and put it in their car, and it actually got all the way across Canada. I'd love to know if that's a real story. That's hilarious if this is true. And I do completely agree about the second part, as sad as it is. If this was attempted in the USA, it was immediately beaten to death in Philadelphia. I don't know what it did wrong. It had the audacity of being a robot made out of a bucket, holding a little flag and suitcase. But yeah, not just Philadelphia either. Like trying to do this in the United States, you're asking for your little bucket robot to get ripped apart. Um, Canada is just a whole lot more wholesome. That is a funny story. I wonder if that's true. Next, we have Canadian. I want to live forever. Genie. The genie says, I can't grant wishes like that. The Canadian says, all right, I want to live until the Leafs win the Stanley Cup. Genie, you crafty bastard. There's always a meme like this. It's not even a joke. There's always a meme like this in these videos. There's always at least one making a joke about the Leafs not winning the Stanley Cup. This is some kind of running joke in Canada. I've heard like a million times now. I feel bad for the Leafs. I don't even know if they realize how many times they have been made fun of on the internet with memes. But it is kind of funny as well. How ongoing that joke is. Next, we have the pupil can expand as much as 55% when you look at something you love. And it's looking at a Tim Hortons coffee and getting very big. Is this, it's funny because I've done videos about Tim Hortons. I've read comments about Tim Hortons. I'm not convinced everyone loves Tim Hortons coffee anymore. I've heard like both good and bad things. I'm not sure people's pupils could expand or would expand upon seeing the Tim Hortons coffee. Because some people say it's the new stuff is bad or the old stuff is better. Or, I don't know. I think it's still the number one most popular coffee chain in Canada by far. How bad could it be? I mean, I like to think it's good. I like to think the pupils do dilate. But anyway, I don't think this meme was meant to make me think that hard about Tim Hortons coffee, but there you go. Next we have when people mistake you for American. What the? Yeah, I mean, totally. This is Canadians, right? If you're mistaken for an American, God forbid, you just run inside and get your Maple Leaf costume on, as all Canadians own by law, right? I know about this. All Canadians own a Maple Leaf costume. You have to make that exact expression. Who the heck? I'd love to know the context behind this photo. What am I saying? It's because this Canadian was mistaken for American, so he turned into a maple leaf and started screaming. That's funny. That's a good one. That's a good one. A photo of the new $20 bill is a $100 bill. I get it. Some of these memes are a bit depressing. Maybe with how much they cut to the truth of life today. Right. This kind of joking about inflation, like $20 now is like $100. I mean, it's not that exaggerated, but here in America, we're dealing with inflation as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure 20 or 30 years ago, literally a $10 bill would have been worth $20. Like just in the course of 20 or 30 years. If you have just held on to your money, its value has been cut in half. That's pretty insane. That's actually real. You can check my facts on that one. I think that's vaguely true, but this is a kind of an exaggeration of that kind of. Not really. It doesn't really feel like an exaggeration at times, does it? This is the new $20 bill, the $100 bill. They need to invent something bigger than the 100 to replace the 100. Okay, moving on. There are actually 11 seasons. Are there? There's 11 seasons in Canada. I didn't know this. We are here. Oh, I think this should be pointing to winter. Like we're just about to start winter. Then after winter in Canada comes Fool's Spring. Fool's Spring? Like it seems like winter is ending and spring is coming, but it's a trick. That it's actually second winter after that. Then Spring of Deception, yet again, which marks the coming of third winter. This is good. Is this accurate in Canada? After third winter, mud season, where everything is just wet and mud is mixed with everything. Then finally comes actual spring. Then summer. False fall. A lot of tricks here. The Canadian weather, is it just like very, like all over the place? You never know what you're going to get one day to the next. You got summer. You think fall's coming. It's actually false fall. Second summer, then actual fall. That is the life cycle of Canadian weather. I've never seen it like this. That's good. They should print this in textbooks. People should study this. Next we have, this is how high fuel prices are. This is how high fuel prices are. So we got gas in Canada. It looks a little different than America. Usually ours says like unleaded gas or something. This says diesel, supreme, ooh, supreme, plus and regular. I recognize that word, regular, as like the lowest grade gas, the standard. And it's got pictures of people that get really high. This is how high gas prices are in Canada. Diesel is Willie Nelson levels of high. That is pretty darn high. I don't know who that is under Supreme. Then you have Snoop Dogg. I think Snoop Dogg is like famous for getting high. Like seriously, even in America where it's not strictly legal everywhere, like Canada, Snoop Dogg I think should almost be diesel higher. Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson are pretty close, probably, actually. I never thought I'd be thinking or debating this ever, but here we are. And then is a guy on a lawn chair smoking? I'm not sure who that is either. I'm missing some of the references here, but the joke is good. The meme is good. I certify this meme as high quality, high gas prices correlating with high individuals. Very good. Next we have, only Canadians will understand what's happening here. This is true. I don't understand what's happening. I was gonna say people are playing hockey, but they've all thrown their hockey sticks in a pile for some reason. They've thrown their hockey sticks in a pile. Why? What is the purpose of this? I have no idea. Is it to decide something, or to say it is over? To bond? To make a hockey pact? Put your hockey sticks in a pile? I don't understand this one. Not shockingly, as an American, I don't know these little Canadian nuances of hockey. Let me know this one in the comments. I have no idea. No idea. But that's what the meme said. Only Canadians understand. If I walked in on this, I would think it's some kind of weird Canadian ritual. I'd kind of just like stop and back up slowly, be like, okay, I realize I have no part in this. See you later, and then run away. Next we have also time to break out. Oh, almost time to break out the 31-piece patio set, which is a chair and beer. 30 pack of beer. That's the 31-piece patio set. 30 beers and a chair. All a Canadian needs to be happy. Frankly, all that many Americans need to be happy as well. Americans can relate to this. Something Canadians and Americans can truly bond over. The 31-piece patio set. Very true. Very true. Okay, next. Canadians. Ugh. Americans are so fat. They eat so many burgers, especially fries. Chef puts gravy and cheese curds on fries. Canadians, oh yeah, perfect. Suddenly it's okay. Is this hypocritical? Maybe, but I also think Canadians must have insane impulse control, because this is talking about poutine. If poutine existed in the United States, I think it'd be very popular. I don't understand why poutine isn't a thing in America. But it is funny if Canadians are like, oh, look at all that crap Americans are eating. And then Canadians, yeah, one of the most unholy, unhealthy concoctions ever assimilated together in the best way possible. It sounds amazing. Poutine sounds amazing. Not very healthy, but that's not the point. It sounds really good. Gravy, French fry, which is like potato, and cheese, but not just cheese. Cheese curds, which I'm a little not exactly sure what a cheese curd. I think I've had fried cheese curds. Sounds good. This just has me like thinking about poutine now. I think the point was us Americans have our vices, and Canadians, you have yours, the poutine, and it makes you wear a little Mountie hat and turn into a monster from Monsters Inc. because it's so good. All right, next we have me chewing on a paper straw. Paper straws. Not a thing here in America. Does Canada have paper straws? Like, are you on to the whole environmental friendliness thing with the paper straws? That's very admirable. That never became a thing here in America. We're still just like using up oil and plastic for our drinking pleasure. So Canadians are chewing on a paper straw. Meanwhile, while the world leaders and the richest 0.0% are flying around in private jets with yachts attached to the top. Yes, pretty much. This is an exaggeration. Heck, I don't know. I'm not part of the 0.01%. Maybe there are flying yachts at this point. I wouldn't be surprised. They're basically taking all the good Canadians do, sipping on your paper straw. That's probably gets wet and falls apart after a while, but you do it anyway because it's the right thing. Meanwhile, the richest people in the world are drinking with plastic straws inside their yacht, flying thousands of miles above us in jets. Very true. Very true. Very true. It's just a commentary on life right there. All right, and finally, we have the Growing Up in Canada starter pack. Oh, what goes into the Growing Up in Canada starter pack? Zellers. We have Zellers here. That's like a store. I think they all, not a standalone store. It's kind of a store within a store now. I think that still exists. Avril Lavigne. That's a Growing Up. This is a Growing Up in America starter pack too. Americans love Avril Lavigne in like the 90s and 2000s or whatever. And Canada as well. I know she's Canadian, but growing up in America, I never even knew that. She might as well have been American. So take it for what you will. Next we have Munch. It's like a logo with a globe that says Much. No idea. No idea what that is. YTV? Not really ringing a bell. Is it like youth TV? Like when you're a kid? YTV? Smarties. Which are different than Smarties here in America. These are Canadian Smarties, which I think are not even sugar. They're chocolate? So that's totally Canadian. I'm sure many Canadians have fond memories of Smarties in their youth. So that's good. Canadian starter pack, that's a good one. Scholastic Book Fair. That's a thing. That was a thing in my little American youth. The Scholastic Book Fair. Ah, that brings me back. Yeah, it's like a book fair they bring inside of your school growing up to buy little kids' books. It's nice. That was in Canada. That was a Canadian thing as well. That's cool. I didn't know that. And Are You Afraid of the Dark? Also a popular kids' TV show here, like in the United States as well. Man, there's some things here. Oh, I missed one. The little hippo. How could I miss the house hippo? I know that reference. I don't know how, but I know this reference from an old Canadian commercial, the house hippos, a Canadian like public service announcement or something, and that definitely belongs on here. This is pretty good. There's some overlap here with America, but it's mostly a growing up in Canada starter pack for sure. And there, with that is the final meme for today. I thought these memes today were quite delightful, actually very funny. Some of them were kind of like, I don't know, not depressing, but maybe a little too real, talking about inflation and like shoveling snow your whole life. But it's still fun to talk about that stuff, and I do enjoy these Canadian memes. They tend to teach me quite a bit about Canadian culture that I don't find in other places. So I enjoyed this quite a bit. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with your thoughts on any of these memes or anything I didn't understand, which is entirely possible. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.